Howdy folks, hope you're all enjoying your weekend and welcome back to Subnautica Below Zero Early Access. There has been a new patch, and while it hasn't added a great deal in the way of story, it has added a whole bunch of new stuff. Not least of which are the blueprints for a battery and power cell charger, so I'm not constantly making new batteries to replace the ones that have drained. Now I can just recharge the buggers as God intended. And so with my at least short-term power problems more or less fixed, I could still use a bioreactor, but hey, not yet. It's time to get out there and do a bit of exploring and see what's new in the latest update. According to the patch notes, a new vehicle has been introduced into the game, the Seatruck. But in true Subnautica fashion, there are bits of it scattered all over the place and I have to go out there and find it. And you're going to find most of the bits, these Seatruck fragments, down here in the Twisty bridges. Apparently the thing about this Seatruck is it's not like the Seamoth or the Cyclops from the previous Subnautica game. The Seatruck is a modular vehicle. It consists of a cab and a whole bunch of different modules which apparently can be attached to the cab in any order. So I've just unlocked the blueprints for the Seatruck itself. And now I'm on the lookout for Seatruck module fragments. I don't know why I'm expecting them to be in the same place as the Seatruck cabin fragments. It was never ever going to be that easy. Well anyway, it's a good start at least. I can now fabricate, once I get the relevant materials, the Seatruck cabin, which apparently is a self-contained vehicle very similar to the Seamoth, so I'm no longer constrained, once I've got it built, by the limits imposed on me by my oxygen tank. Speaking of limits, we're running a little low on water. I have to keep my eye open for some bladderfish. At the moment, bladderfish and the filtered water that you make from them are the only source of water in the game, because the water filtration device, the blueprint for that, isn't yet in the game database, so I can't make distilled water. I have to survive on filtered water, and the only source of that are the bladderfish. Luckily, the area around the base is teeming with the little buggers, and they're fairly easy to spot. They do stand out well against the background because they're the only purple fish so far that I've found. I don't remember seeing one in a while though. I'm sure it's just a question of being patient and keeping an eye open. Or at least that's what I thought. Because it turns out that Subnautica Below Zero actually has a functioning ecosystem. And if you get a bit thirsty and you over-farm the bladderfish, there are no more bladderfish. And it also turns out that the only area in the game, at least at the moment, where the bladderfish live is the area immediately around your base. And I appear to have run out of bladderfish. There are no more bladderfish to, make the beast with two backs and produce little baby bladderfish. I'm pretty fucked. This is not an issue that has just been affecting me. There are all kinds of complaints about the great bladderfish extinction of 2019. Everybody's running out of things to drink. So, hopefully that's going to get fixed in a future patch. But let me just say, it made exploration in survival mode interesting. Because without the bladderfish, the only way you can get any water is another kind of fish called the eye, which has a fairly high water content after you've cooked it. But you need to eat an awful lot of them. And guess what happens if you eat all of the eyes? Yeah, they go extinct too. So things are going to get very interesting. Now, the Seatruck isn't the only new thing in this update. They've introduced a couple of new creatures. And I think I saw one of them. There he is. That is a sea monkey. Get a scan of it. They're quite harmless, but they like to steal shit. He just nicked my scanner. Come back here, you little thieving bastard. Apparently, so I've been told, if you follow a sea monkey back to its nest, you might find some useful loot in the nest from other stuff that it's just, you know, stolen. This little rapscallion, however, wasn't interested in showing me where he lived, so I just stole my scanner back and left him to his own devices. Anyway, if you want to find the other Seatruck module fragments, you're going to have to go a little bit deeper into the Twisty bridges. A little bit deeper than 67 meters, that's for sure. And this can be quite tricky, because I only have 2 minutes worth of oxygen. However, it's entirely doable, providing you don't get lost, because there are all these oxygen flowers. Now, they're not quite as useful as the Titan holefish, which completely replenish your oxygen supply. But providing you can top off every 30-40 seconds or so, they effectively, technically give you an unlimited supply of air. As long as you can remember where they all are. So, technically, unlimited supply of air, providing you remember where they all are, and you don't get lost. I'm gonna die, aren't I? Yeah, it's entirely possible. So we're down right. Wait a minute, what was that? What the? Oh yeah, the patch notes did say there was another creature that had just been introduced into the game. And that was it. That is a squid shark. And that's about as close as I want to get to one of those little things. Well, I say little. Little compared to a leviathan. But still far bigger than... Oh, what the hell is that? Anyway, yeah. Nasty buggers. They've got an arse at both ends. And both of the arses have teeth. So, yeah. Let's top up. Yeah, you see, we're doing okay. We just keep finding the oxygen flowers. Yeah, this is easy. What could possibly go... What's that? Ah! No! This bugger's pulling me in! Sod off! Stop! Jeez, what the... Okay, nobody warned me about those. That's one of them there. Sort of blue tentacles with red bits on the end. Reach out and grab you and try to pull you in. Which is distinctly unfair, because I don't know if you've noticed, there are an awful lot of perfectly harmless things down here that look like big blue wavy tentacles with red bits on the end. So that's just not playing cricket, old boy. Oh crap, and there are biters down here as well. These kind of formations, lots and lots of diamonds down here. Unfortunately, I don't actually need diamonds. What I need is lead and lithium. Previously, silver was the big sort of inhibiting factor. I couldn't get enough silver to make everything that I needed. When you're looking for the things that you're going to need to make the Seatruck, lithium and lead. Which is why... Ow! Bollocks! Bugger off! Let me go! I didn't even see that one. Jeez. Oh, hang on. What's this? There you go. Seatruck storage module fragment. These are the modular compartments of the Seatruck that I'm talking about. Okay, so I know we're in the right place. They're down here in the deep twisty bridges. This is where we're going to find all of the various different Seatruck modules, as well as shark squids and carnivorous tentacles and fish that bite. But as long as I can keep topping off at these oxygen flowers, or whatever the hell they're called, I should be okay. And staying away from the biters and the wavy blue red tip tentacle bitey snappy things and the big shark with an arse at both ends. You know, as long as I stay away from those and not suffocate, we'll be fine. So, do you remember how I said that providing you don't get lost and providing you remember where all of the oxygen flowers are, you have a theoretically unlimited oxygen supply down here in the deep twisty bridges? I can't find any oxygen flowers. I'm lost. I can't remember where they are. Oh god, I'm going to die, aren't I? Yeah, 337 metres down with 9 seconds of oxygen left and not a single oxygen flower in sight. Yep. I'm going to die. Oh well. Well, I've never let anything as trivial as death stop me before, and it's not going to stop me now. Death in Subnautica is just the game's way of saying, slow down there, cowboy, and we're going to take some of your stuff. So, but it could have been worse. I remember when I was playing the original Subnautica, the first time I built myself a Cyclops, which, let me remind you, was no insubstantial investment in resources building one of those things for the first time. And I got so excited, I drove it off, got lost, ended up driving outside the borders of the map, and got my Cyclops ripped apart by a whole bunch of ghost leviathans. But I was determined. I wasn't going to take that one lying down, so I built myself a Seamoth, and I ran out to attempt to salvage the wreck. And then they ate the Seamoth as well. And so, like I said, it could have been a lot worse. I didn't have anything particularly valuable on me. Anyway, after a few more trips and no more deaths down into the deep twisty bridges, I've got all the materials I need to make the Seatruck cab. So let's get this sucker done. Cannot wait to see what it looks like. Here we go. Fire her up, boys. Oh, it looks a bit, well, functional. It doesn't look anything like the Seamoth, does it? I mean, the Seamoth looked like... It looked fast. That doesn't. Is that an airlock at the back? Some engines sticking out the sides? Bubble canopy? How do I get in? Can't get in through the airlock at the back. The hell? Okay, there's the power. That's the upgrade slot. Oh, there's a hatch on the top. There we go. Well, it might not look like much, but it's mine. And it's fairly manoeuvrable. Bubble canopy gives you a nice field of view. It's not incredibly slow. Yeah, this is alright. I mean, it looks like a bulldog that's been chasing parked cars, but this isn't a beauty contest. But anyway, I've got myself some transportation with a self-contained oxygen supply. Now, I just need to get the materials required to make the other modules that apparently are going to attach to it. Now, I was quite diligent about this. I went out there looking for all of the... Oh, hang on a second. I think we might have found a slight bug. It doesn't turn the lights off when you exit the vehicle. You have to do it manually. There we go. Right. Anyway, like I said, I was quite diligent about this. I went out there looking for all of the materials that were going to be required to make the Seamoth modules, the Seatruck modules that I had the blueprints for. And that meant I was going to need a little lithium to make plasteel, and I was going to need a lot of lead. So we're scanning for lead, because I'm going to need an absolute shit ton of that stuff. Now, I could have done what a lot of other people are doing when they're playing Subnautica Below Zero Early Access and just used the console commands to spawn the resources that we need, or to just spawn the various different modules. But that just felt too much like cheating. I mean, if you're going to play the game, at least as much as you can. Admittedly, you know, you can't do everything because it is still a very early access build. But I went out looking for lead. Well, it's not so much that you need a lot of lead, it's just that lead is kind of hard to come by. And it's a good job that I did go out looking for lead. Because it turns out that not all of the available Seatruck modules are in the deep twisty bridges. Some of them, well, I'm not sure what this place is called, but it's fairly distinctive. You'll know it when you get there. It's a very thermally active area. There are a lot of these sort of calcium spires venting steam out into the water. Be careful, because there are also a lot of bone sharks around here as well. But this is where I kept finding a lot of lead. And that's not all I found. An aquarium module fragment. A what? Really? I don't know what it is, but I'll have it. There's a bunch of them scattered around this area. So, oh crap, bone shark. Nope, 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 nope. Bugger off. Oh yeah, lead outcrop. Why is it giving me titanium? It's another bone that I have to pick. It seems like you got a 50-50 chance whether or not you're going to get actual lead from a lead outcrop or just, you know, bloody titanium. So yeah, finding lead. Hooray! I actually got some lead from a lead outcrop. Well, stop the press. Alert the president. Working as intended. So yeah, that's kind of annoying. But anyway, found myself some brand new Seatruck fragments, and I got all the lead that I was going to need. So I thought, fantastic, let's get back to the base and let's make ourselves some Seatruck modules. Now, I have to admit, to my great embarrassment at this point, I suffered from a sudden and irreversible rush of shit to the brain. I was so keen to get these Seatruck modules built, I rushed straight back to the base, ran to the vehicle modification station in the moon pool, only to find that the moon pool doesn't actually have a vehicle modification station yet, and I thought, oh, you've got to be kidding. They put the Seatruck modules into the game, they've put the Seatruck into the game, but there's no way of actually constructing the modules yet? Ah, for God's sake. So, I started looking up the various different console commands to actually spawn the Seatruck modules into the world. And it was only afterwards that I realised, Jingles, you don't need to do that. Just go to the mobile vehicle bay and build them there. That's what it's for. But damn it, when you get to my age, you can be crap and not have to apologise for it as well. And while I was messing around with the console commands, I turned off the requirement to eat and drink, since, you know, food wasn't a problem, but thanks to the great bladderfish extinction of 2019, I was very quickly dying of thirst. So, without further ado, let's have a look at the Seatruck. Initially, I mean, my initial first impressions of the Seatruck, because all that I had at first was the cabin, was, wow, this looks a bit crap. And the cabin by itself does look a bit crap, but it's actually a very, very well thought out and put together vehicle. This is the Seatruck, with just one of the modules, the aquarium module, attached. There's the docking module floating free, and I think that's another aquarium module. I'm not entirely sure. The thing is, it's a truck. As the name implies, it's the Seatruck. So the cab can have any number of modules attached to it. And with just an aquarium module attached to it, it doesn't look that bad. I mean, it still looks kind of functional, but it looks a bit better than just the raw cabin floating around. So anyway, let's attach some more modules. How about a fabricator module? And this does exactly what it says on the tin. It's a Seatruck module that contains a fabricator, so you can make stuff inside the Seatruck. And there it is. So how are we going to get that attached? How are we going to get that attached? This is going to be a bit more of a problem. I actually spawned that one inside the base, and the game had a bit of a hissy fit as it expelled it outside and ended up, well, kind of upside down. So let's get inside and take the controls, and we'll just position ourselves in front of the new fabricator module, and when you start reversing you get a rear view mirror display, and it works just like a truck. You just back up into the new module and it automatically attaches, and there's a graphic display on the heads up that shows you which modules are attached. Oh, okay, that probably shouldn't have happened. But there you go. Now we have a fabricator, but it's more than just a regular base fabricator. This is also where you make the various different upgrades for the Seatruck. So, hooray! What next? Well, I think we should get some more modules attached. There's a couple floating nearby. Let's see if we can't dock with them. So, let's see. Where is it? There it is. This is the Seatruck docking module. And that is for attaching a prawn suit. So we're just going to do the same process, reverse into it, and bingo, it's attached. So once we've got all of the various different modules attached, that's how it looks. It's pretty nifty, isn't it? It's gone from looking, well, a bit shit with just the cabin to, yeah, not bad. Now if you're looking at that and thinking, Jingles, what are those sort of swirly, sparkly green fields being projected out of the sides of the aquarium modules? Those are the fish catchers. The what? It's probably easier just to show you. Let's get on board and take it for a drive. You know when you're driving or swimming around in Subnautica and you've got all these schools of fish that are just kind of there, looking pretty but not really doing anything? If you have the Seatruck with the aquarium module fitted, those fields that are projected out of the sides will trap fish and pull them into the aquarium. Which means that you're never going to run out of food if you're driving a Seatruck with an aquarium module. With that aquarium module, you're basically collecting food as you're driving around. Well, let's go and take a look, and this aquarium module has caught one hoopfish. Okay, not terribly efficient, but that's not bad just for a minute driving around the place, and you are going to be spending a lot of time just driving around from point A to point B. And while you're doing that, and this aquarium module has caught 3 fish, it's just collecting food for you, so you don't need to bring food with you. And of course, if you have the fabricator module installed, you can use it to cook the food that you've caught in the aquarium module. Now, you might have noticed that when we were just driving the cabin around, it was about as agile as a sea moth from the original Subnautica, but now that we've got all of these modules attached, it's starting to perform a bit like a Cyclops. It's a bit slow and sluggish. At the fabricator, assuming you have the fabricator module, you can construct upgrades for your Seatruck. There are 4 of them. A hull module, which allows you to take the Seatruck down to a depth of 475 meters. And here's the upgrade slot. There's also an engine horsepower upgrade, an afterburner upgrade, and an engine power efficiency upgrade. So you don't drain your power cells. So we're going to slot all of those in, and then check out the difference. I'm not sure about having that docking module at the back. I mean, I don't even have a prawn suit, so I don't really need the docking module, but it looks pretty, so what the hell. Actually, you know what? I've got 2 aquarium modules and I don't have a storage module, so I'm going to spawn myself a storage module. Probably going to have to jettison the docking module from the back, because I can't attach the storage module to a docking module. That's where the prawn suit's going to go. Oh, actually, no, I'm overthinking this again. I don't need to do that. I'll just back the cab into the brand new storage module. Just get it lined up. There we go. Close enough for government work, and now take the cabin and the storage module and back it up into the first of the aquarium modules. Bingo! Job done. Easy. There's the brand new storage module. Bunch of lockers. Good stuff. There's the first of the aquarium modules, second aquarium module behind that, then the fabricator module, then the prawn suit docking module. So what you have here, you don't need a sea moth and a Cyclops if you have the Seatruck. It basically does the job of both. You can drive yourself and all of your kit in the fully joined up Seatruck to wherever it is that you need to go, and then just jettison the modules and leave them waiting for you as you go off exploring in the cabin. And there it is. See, that was the thing about the original Subnautica. You kind of had to have both vehicles. But the Cyclops was too big to get into narrow, confined spaces, and the Sea Moth couldn't carry a prawn suit with it, and you couldn't go on long journeys in the Sea Moth unless you took a lot of food with you. But the Seatruck, providing you have the relevant modules, works like a combination Sea Moth and Cyclops. Brilliant idea. And once you've got a few modules attached, it doesn't look too bad either. Probably the biggest problem you're going to have with the Seatruck, at least at first, is the more modules you add to it, the more mass you add to it, the more those 2 tiny little engines are going to struggle. But with the horsepower upgrade and the afterburner, this thing can shift. It's certainly faster than a Cyclops. And if you were to jettison all the modules and just drive the cabin around, it would probably be a damn sight faster than a Sea Moth as well. So that's the Seatruck. That's the big news in the latest update for the early access version of Subnautica Below Zero. And it's bloody great. Aside from, you know, the great bladderfish extinction of 2019, which is a bit of a pain in the arse, but hopefully they'll patch that out soon. So, that's it for today. I hope you're all having a great weekend. I hope you've enjoyed today's Subnautica video, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.